This is the home of independent, fearless, credible and impactful journalism. Thanks for joining us on Joy News Prime. In our headlines tonight, Saboba District cut off from the rest of the northern region after floodwaters from Thursday's torrential rains submerged the Palba Bridge. We have update on the situation, which has become an annual event in the area.
When someone is sick, they have to use a canoe to send the person to the other side. Some even die in the process of crossing.
Ahead of the release of the list of MMDCEs, the NPP is urging the rank and file of the party to accept the president's nominees to ensure a smooth process.
The expectation is that party grassroots will respect the choices and receive and support the approval process for these nominees for the benefit of their districts and the party.
Also tonight's three-member search committee appointed by the Executive Council to make recommendations for a new coach of the Black Stars submit report to the Ghana Football Association.
There's pressure in this job. There's pressure in it. But like I said, I don't let it overwhelm me, and so I take in charge, I take control over it.
In business, the new board of the National Lottery Authority to go after unlicensed television lotto marketers.
That you can see unlicensed lotto operators are operating on the national televisions without abiding the rules. So we need your support.
Joy News Prime is coming to you live from our studios here at Fanofa in Kokomlemle, Accra. We're on your digital TV because we're free to air. DSTV channel 421, Go TV 144. My name is Ernest Minu. Stay tuned in for the details. Hello again, many thanks for joining us. Now, the Saboba district of the northern region has been cut off from the rest of the region following an annual flooding of the Palba Bridge. Each year, between August and September, commuters on that route have to rely on canoes without life jackets to cross the Saboba Bridge, risking their lives. Last year, BEC candidates had to be carried across with canoes organized by the Assembly to enable them write their final exam. Heavy rains in the area have caused the river to overflow, flooding the bridge. A resident, Timable Ama, told Joy News that women suffer a lot at the peak of every rainy season when they want to travel. Another resident, Dimakpe Williams, said he spent more having to travel the same distance to Yendi, adding that he now has to pay an extra 40 Ghana cedis at the bridge. We spoke to another resident who expressed worry over challenges students face crossing the bridge. Listen.
The students suffer a lot during the raining season, especially in August and September. Anytime the students are going to school, there's only one canoe which overloads them. Those who do not get spaces are forced to stay at home.
I am going to Yendi. I can't swim, so I am forced to use the canoe. If I'm going, they will charge 20 cedis, and if I'm returning, they charge the same amount. When someone is sick, they have to use a canoe to send the person to the other side. Some even die in the process of crossing. We are appealing to the leaders to help us.
Okay.
We, the women, normally suffer during this time. We have only one canoe, which would have to carry this large number of people. I've been here for over an hour now, and I'm still waiting to cross. Our leaders are already aware of the problem, so they should help us.
Residents and commuters on the Atonko Tapa Abotuasi Road are once again calling on government to fix the broken bridge in the area as it is affecting economic activities on that stretch. Joy News 3 years ago brought you the deplorable nature of OT regional roads and featured that road as well as the broken bridge. In 2020, the bridge was captured by the Assembly and announced by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, at a town hall meeting as an ongoing project in the government's project tracker. However, Joy News checks same time revealed otherwise. The bridge is completely submerged and making crossing difficult for both residents and commuters. OT regional correspondent Peter Senu used the road just days ago, and he's been interacting with some residents, motorists, who are calling on government to, as a matter of urgency, fix the bridge to avert any disaster.
Oh, okwan we de ya kasa ho saabere nje se de yan kasa ya fa ne se ya baba da no contractors also we na nya fi we o yan kasa na feel honum some years ago but this an ka se bia nsuo no twen kakra se da hade yeni mpenifo bia wa nti abetumi asa kasa fa ho because na last year na ka si we ba me oso no aye sa kwan we so ya wa hanu aha o so mo na fom kra no mo dadanse nti ayesi yan driver sidi moto for no yan kasa ya ba be nti se du so na ehunu aban on be campaign so no ba ba se bia nipa bu ho a on beto abana ma no enu nya MPP ne NDC o mo nyina ye hu ne o mo eye aha be ba hakora ne bi no bo ma no senka minsina minjena no munsina o mo na he o mo nanti nkro so abra kwan wa ha so edu campaign time sa na o mbedu na o mo de ndade ne drink dada o mo ayem fa ne so o mu num hwe no mfise bia na o ma so edu so asie yin cross font na beto ama mo de ye ka mo fanya adwuma nti meta mentimi ka se bia nda na se chena aha ban ka se o me ambotom si mbaye de anka medima ka se bia chena nko budoza mbra no metwi we na fe no nda vetu na o munya bridge no emaye nso ko no bajusu yo fanya adwuma
nisi munya mumfanko te mpeni for no musa na bridge we omunya maye e dat na ye vote Ghana they say oh yeah bre mumbua ye bre oh yeah bre.
It's exactly a week ago that the president visited the OT region to inaugurate some projects and inspect some ongoing ones. At KJB, the president inspected the 56.4-kilometer Jasikan to the Purpose Road. Over 70% of work has been done with over 28% of asphalt. But residents are asking for other road infrastructure to be fixed as soon as possible to avert any road accident. Correspondent Peter Senu has more the following report.
On the 9th of September 2021, the president was in the OT region to, among other things, inspect the construction of 56.4-kilometer Jasikan-Dodo-Pepeso stretch of the Eastern Corridor Road. In this report, we bring you the extent of work done and some concerns from residents and officials working on the road. So far, over 28% of asphalt work done and over 77% of the road has been completed. The project manager for Sino Hydro Corporation, Lee Long, says they are likely to finish ahead of schedule. The only challenge for them is cutting chippings from Shai Hills all the way to the construction site here in the OT region.
Yes, we'll finish it within the contract period. Even if we tried, we can finish before that end. Asphalt work now is 28% done, and the total work is about 77% done. So we finish it within the contract period. The challenge is we are taking our chippings from far end from Shah Hills, so now it can delay the works somehow, but we are trying our best to solve it.
He is also appealing for cooperation from residents in the Jasikan and KJB areas.
If they have some requests about our project, please come to us directly. I hope they won't damage the finished job themselves.
He also added the contract sum is sufficient and they would not request for extra amount except there is additional work to be done.
The scope of the work now, ministry give to us, we can finish within the capital, unless they give us more works.
For Emmanuel Klu, the resident engineer for Ghana Highways Authority, the attitude of some drivers and motor riders leave much to be desired of them.
We are only pleading that the drivers should take their time to read. Some of them, they don't read. The mandatory speed in towns is 50 and below, not 50 and above. Okay, so it means that everybody should play his part on the road when he sits behind the steering. And if you are in straight, also be careful, because anything can cross you.
Some people have broken some culverts and U-drains either deliberately or accidentally. This place was allegedly broken by the occupants of this facility, but the owner has since denied any knowledge. The place has become a sand-winning spot.
I don't know anything about him.
The culvert?
Yeah, it's not me.
So who did it?
I don't know.
But it's close to your workplace.
Me, one thing is that I not stay here at this village. Only I can work, then I go.
Some residents and road users are asking for speed ramps to be installed to reduce speeding at the various intersections.
But that matter, only the motor riders, include the drivers. This T-junction, it be very, very, very dangerous. Sometimes, if you don't cross, they don't go watch left and right before they go cross. I don't know if they go manage do some speed ramp here. If you do, it's good.
The Okada riders may misuse it. I think we need to have some road rumble strips in certain part of it. It will help us. And then we still need to educate the Okada riders and then some of the drivers as to how to use it. It is new, so that this road can take some time, it will last.
The rate at which the cars are speeding on the road, and for us staying or living along the road, crossing is becoming a problem for us. So we want to appeal that a speed ramp should be constructed.
This, Emmanuel Klu says, would be done in the coming days.
Going forward, we also appeal to residents to drive safe and then observe all road regulations as we try to drive and arrive alive.
Still on roads, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoah-Akwata, has justified the closure of toll booths at the Black Water Bridge at Bipe in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region, insisting that the directive is to protect lives and ensure speedy completion of ongoing works in the Benkrum portion of the Tamale-Kintapo Highway. The minister said this when he paid a working visit to contractors working on portions of that road.
Under the watch of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic, no part of our country will be allowed to be cut off.
On the 12th of this month, commuters on the stretch were terrified for 2 days when 2 Burkina Faso cargo trucks crashed and blocked the road, causing huge vehicular traffic with about 600 vehicles parked from both sides of the road. And Mr. Amoah-Akwata said that the 1-mile closure of the toll booth would enhance traffic flow and pave way for the contractors to fix the road in record time.
And we should not also do anything to hinder the work and the progress of the contractors. So with immediate effect, I am directing you to issue out instructions. Both ends, all the toll booths should be closed from tomorrow morning. And when they finish and they reinstate the road, the toll booth area will be safe.
On blocking bridges in the region, the minister said that government focus is not only on bridges but also on roads.
Bridges link roads, so you can have an excellent bridge. If the approaches are not well done, the bridge will become a white elephant and it will not serve any purpose. The reverse is also true. If you have 2 excellent roads and you don't fix the bridge, you can't use the approaches, the roads. So bridges and roles complement each other and they go together.
The minister also had indicated that the Kufuor-Bawumia-led government has since the year 2016 brought much improvement into the 80,000 kilometer road in the country and called Ghanaians to open their eyes and see the reality on the ground.
Today, look at the state of roads in our country. Look at the interchanges being built. Look at the asphalt overlays all around. Look at the surface dressing all around. Okay? So roads in our country were being faced as far back as 2017. Okay? People should shine their eyes. People should open their eyes and see what is happening in our country.
Away from roads and infrastructure, the Ghana Police Service is investigating the alleged kidnapping of a 28-year-old pregnant woman, Josephine Simmons, at Takoradi in the Western Region. She is said to have left her home about 5 a.m. on Thursday for a routine walk from Amano to Park Ground Runabout, but has since not returned home. The victim's husband, Michael Simmons, who reported the case to the police, says his wife's mother received a call from an unidentified person who demanded ransom. He's appealing to the public to help provide information that may lead to the arrest of the culprit.
Around 5 a.m. say or call work, but since then on sign my fee. Now, if you call say and go for being a fry, almost say almost fry the money, almost on far amount of money being bra, no more kidnapping.
She went for a walk around 5 a.m. and she has still not returned. Her mother said she had received a call from an unidentified person demanding ransom. They said they have kidnapped her. We have reported the case to the police and they have given us this statement to circulate in the media so anyone with information can report to the nearest police station.
Report to the nearest police station and ask a number to be over to me for 0542 333
To some politics now, the governing NPP is asking stakeholders, particularly supporters of the party, to accept the list of chief executive officers for the various MMDAs, which is yet to be published. The party believes acceptance of the list is a sign of respecting the president's decision. Director of Communications for the party, Yalbo Abena-Samoa, addressing the media, charged members to adopt the nominees and ensure a smooth confirmation process.
Having waited patiently up to this time, we expect all of us, all stakeholders, the public, and especially party executives at the grassroots level, to accept the list that will be released very eminently in good faith. The list is going to be released very eminently, and we want every stakeholder, especially party grassroots, to accept the list in good faith. Because every nominee on that list that will be published is a nominee of the president in exercise of his constitutional prerogative to appoint representatives at that level. Therefore, the expectation is that party grassroots will respect the choices and receive and support the approval process for these nominees for the benefit of their districts and the party. Of course, we recognize that not everybody in every assembly will have their preferred choice. However, we also believe that as much as possible, every eligible candidate has had a fair bite of the selection process. And therefore, we are asking that now, ladies and gentlemen, that the selection process is over, all former contestants, stakeholders, their supporters should adopt the nominees as their own, encourage a smooth confirmation process, and support the approved MMDCs to deliver the best to their areas. Once the list is published, competition in any form must end. Nobody must go around insisting that they ought to have been the right person and instigating issues during the approval processes. We are asking everybody, especially the party grassroots, to be calm, to be very, very calm, and to act in ways that promote good relations at a working level in order to give the new nominees the the best possible opportunity to work in the interest of the grassroots of the nation.
He also admonished the nominees to open up and welcome divergent views in the discharge of their duties.
We are advising the nominees as well to, as much as possible, open up and provide space for all shades of opinion in their work. We don't expect successful nominees to gloat. We don't expect successful nominees to shut out people who contested with them. We don't expect successful nominees to have a closed-door administration. We expect them, the president having reposed such confidence in them, to open up and get everybody on board in order to get their areas functioning well.
To the Ashanti region now, and authorities of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have cancelled Morale Sessions. That's a popular student outdoor event of singing, dancing and chanting on campus. The announcement comes after security operatives picked intelligence that the students intend to use that occasion to cause chaos on campus. The Regional Security Council has already served notice it will not allow such gatherings on the KNUST campus, which has been declared a security zone since 2018. Ohimin Teria of our security desk has an update on happenings there.
Students who have completed their end-of-semester examinations are packing out of campus amid heavy security presence. University authorities say more than 85% of students have already completed their exams. Armed police officers are stationed at vantage points at the two rival halls. The deployment of more personnel is to beef up security as students of Unity Hall and University Hall rehearse indoors for Morale Night. Morale Nights can be compelled to Christmas for students, but university authorities have ruled out such event. University Relations Officer Dr. Norris Bequin says the move is to prevent unscrupulous persons, including students facing disciplinary actions, from taking advantage to cause mayhem.
The planned Morale Night will not happen. According to the Regional Security Council, they are not going to allow anything of that sort to happen because we know we have very recalcitrant students who are hovering around the university. Some of them have been rusticated, some of them have been dismissed, some have been sanctioned for other various reasons. They hang around. For them, it is that opportunity to show or to vent their spleen, and will not give them the opportunity to do so. Anyone who dare tries that, the security personnel will pick you up, and then according to the plan, they will have to keep you behind the cells for some time, and then arrange you before a court of competent jurisdiction, and then you will have to go and tell your story there.
It is not clear when deployed security personnel will leave campus, but university authorities are satisfied with how plans have panned out.
The plan is working well. We had envisaged that just about a week to the time all students complete or finish their end of semester examination, we should have some relative number of security personnel around. That has been working. They have been working since last week, and almost every evening there's regular patrol around all where the students are living, including off-campus hostels. And as we stated earlier on, there will be some deployment of additional security men or personnel on campus between Thursday and Friday, and Saturday through to Monday. And as you walk about, you will see that happening. So I would say the plan is working. And I'm happy to inform you that a lot of our security men, the students have started packing and leaving.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimin Teria reporting.
All is set for the second mini clinic for this year's Joy News EcoBank Habitat Fair at the West Hills Mall. Now, if you are in a dilemma on whether to build or to buy a house, the solution is right there. These mini clinics are designed ahead of the main fair each year to help prospective homeowners consider the range of options available and take the right decision in acquiring that lifetime investment. Listen to some exhibitors who are the first mini clinic showcased their product last weekend.
When you are coming through this habitat, you already have 10% discount voucher and come to our office so that we can further business in regards to payment and production for our customers. And aside that, we have other profiles which we are also making a lot of noise on the media, which has to do with our ready-mix concrete and our blocks. The blocks, we have the engineering blocks, we have the hollow blocks, and we have the concrete blocks. Per the measurement, we have the 5 inches and we have the 6 inches as well.
In terms of the Habitat Fair, what kind of opportunities has this afforded you to be able to reach out to potential customers?
I think looking at the Habitat Fair, we have made a lot of contacts. What we are hoping for is all these contacts that we have made will generate into a very good sales for DBS.
EcoBank also introduced patrons to its pension-backed mortgage.
There's a budget, or there's a home for every budget. So we have our EcoBank home ownership mortgage, where we finance you to get your own home. We have what we call a pension-backed mortgage, where if you have your tier 2 and tier 3 with a value of 20% or more of the property you intend purchasing, we can also use that as security and finance your mortgage 100%.
General Manager at Multimedia in charge of sales, David Maxfuga, says prospective homeowners will be guided to make the choice of whether to build or buy.
The objective of this clinics is to provide potential homeowners the opportunity to engage directly with the service providers who are the exhibitors and our sponsors to understand and be informed to make the critical decisions they want to make, i.e. whether to buy or to build their houses. There's a lot of debate going out there, and like our theme said this year, this year's theme says, to build or to buy. And this is generated a lot of debate. And we want people to come and be educated for them to make this informed decision, whether to buy houses or to build them. And the interesting thing about this year's clinic is that we are not only assembling people in the real estate industry, we are also bringing together the people who provide the accessories. So somebody has taken a decision to build his own house. Yes, you are free to build your own house. So come there this weekend and engage directly with the real estate guys and the accessories providers and share your needs, discuss your concerns, discuss your worries, and get those things answered for you. Then you can make an informed decision whether you want to buy or you want to build. So this year is going to be unique because we're running clinics, we're running lectures, we're running other activities that will make the potential homeowner make that firm decision to either build or to buy a house.
You're watching Joy News Prime with me, Ernest Mino. Still to come, 3-member search committee appointed by the Executive Council to make recommendations for a new coach for the Black Stars submit reports to the Ghana Football Association.
There's pressure in this job. There's pressure in it. But like I said, I don't let it overwhelm me. And so I take in charge, I take control over it.
And coming up in business, new board of the National Lottery Authority to go after unlicensed televised lotto marketers.
That you can see unlicensed lotto operators are operating on the national televisions without abiding the rules. So we need your support.
Yeah, welcome to Business. I'm Charles Aiche. The newly reconstituted board of the National Lottery Authority has vowed to deal with unlicensed lotto operators who appear on television with numbers generated by the authority. The board chairman said disclosed that the activities of these illegal operators has denied the state of the required revenue. We have more in this report.
Speaking after the inauguration of the 9-member newly constituted board of the National Lottery Authority, board chairman Seth Nyonyo hinted that the NLA has been monitoring activities in the lottery space and ready to support potentials that want to engage in legitimate business with the authority. According to him, the authority will enhance the use of digital solutions to make the lotto business more efficient.
The revenue generation is brought to the government for development. What we need most as the board is the support of the ministry to enable us to prosecute our agenda transparently, to ensure that the revenue it comes to the nation. As you are well aware, that you can see unlicensed lotto operators are operating on the national televisions without abiding the rules. So we need your support so that we all work together.
Deputy Minister for Finance, Abena Osei-Asare, who sworn in the board, charged the NLA to be committed in maximizing profit to support development of the country.
The team sustained the fight against illegal lottery and made modest gains. I believe the job for the reconstituted board is clearly spelled out. You must work together to ensure players live their dreams and aspirations, whilst supporting government to raise the required revenue for recovery and acceleration of our move towards a Ghana beyond age. To the work already begun, assess and tweak to chart a course that ensure NLA is able to, 1, optimize revenue, deal decisively with its challenges with focus on activities of illegal operators, its human capital development, and to be operationally efficient by sealing all leakages in the system.
Other members of the board include Deputy Minister for Finance John Kuma, Director General of the NLA Sami Awoku, among others.
Now, the Bank of Ghana has pledged to monitor the changing financial landscape and put in measures to assess financial vulnerabilities emerging in other African continental free trade agreement member countries. Now, this will enable it to ring-fence any spillovers on domestic banks and financial institutions. Speaking at the Presidential Board and Ghana Credit Excellence Awards on the Chartered Institute of Credit Management, Director of Banking Supervision, Osei Jesse, said the bank will also work closely with sub-regional institutions such as College of Supervisors of the West African Monetary Zone to undertake cross-border joint supervision. We have more in this report.
Speaking on the topic leveraging Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement to boost Ghana's socio-economic development, the role of the financial services sector, the Director of Banking Supervision at the Bank of Ghana said AFTA has given credence to the recapitalization of the banking sector. According to him, for the financial sector to take advantage of expected economic expansion that will be unleashed by the full implementation of AFTA, financial institutions need stronger capital bases to undertake large cross-border transactions.
Lowering tariffs under AFTA is only the first step. The subsequent steps of substantial policy reforms on non-tariff and trade facilitation measures will require strong commitment at the national levels. On a positive note, the opportunities and benefits that will accrue from AFTA agreement can be leveraged to implement the additional reforms needed to make Africa a competitive destination in the world. In all these, Ghana stands to benefit as a member of AFTA if we can develop the needed competencies to expand the manufacturing and agro-processing base, driven by high quality and competitively priced products. These activities will be instrumental for the accelerated growth and development agenda of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the bank's monetary policy decisions have aimed to contain inflation within the medium-term target band.
Mr. Osei Jesse also urged financial institutions to focus on innovative and cost-effective trade finance products that will attract businesses across the sub-region to accelerate growth and development on the African continent. Executive Secretary of the Chartered Institute of Credit Management, Ejape Amu, urged financial institutions to pay attention to credit risk models and systems in this era, since credit is the heart of the financial system.
In terms of technological infrastructure that may require upgrades and harmonization to support cross-border trade.
And that'll be it for business. We have sports coming up. Please stay.
Many thanks for staying with us. Time for sport. I am Hans Mensah Ando, and the three-member search committee, which was appointed by the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association to make recommendations for a new coach of the Black Stars, has on Thursday, September 16, submitted their report to the Ghana Football Association. There is more in the following report.
The committee, made up of Vice President Mark Ado, Dr. Ransford Abi, and Alhaji Salifu Zida Shaibu, was given 3 days to find a new coach and assistant for the Black Stars following the dismissal of Charles Akon on Monday. Following the submission of the report, the next steps would include finding internal alignment with relevant stakeholders and decision-making by the Executive Council before signing of contract, official announcement, and unveiling. Ghana currently have 3 points after 2 opening matches in the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 qualifiers.
About chairman for Accra Heart of Oak, Togbe Afede, is keen to see the club become one of the best on the African continent in terms of performance on the pitch and also the club's branding. Togbe made this comment during Heart of Oak's kit unveiling for the coming football season. Here is Joy Sports Mubarak Aruna with more in this report.
It was a colorful ceremony on Thursday night at the World Trade Center in Accra, where Hearts unveiled their home and away kits for the 2021-2022 football season. The jerseys have a new logo, which is intended to celebrate the club's 110 years of existence in November. Board chairman of Hearts of Oak, Togbe Afede the 14th, who believes Hearts have the largest following, is keen to enhance the brand of the club.
But we also see opportunities in the football world. We all see how much football is growing, the transformations that we saw or we all see in the English Premier League. So we see that there is opportunity for us to grow our football, to grow our brand. And we also see the power of technology. We know that also presents to us an opportunity not only to mobilize our support base, but also to monetize the strength in that base and also enhance our commercial presence.
The Phobians won the double last season, and Togbe wants the club to rub shoulders with the best clubs in Africa.
Today we are unveiling our 110th anniversary logo as part of events marking the launch of our 110th anniversary. The occasion is supposed to help us to reflect again on the past, on the present, and on our future. We have key activities that have been lined up for this year and also key targets for this year. All of these are geared towards realizing our objective for the decade. For the next 10 years, we want to achieve more success and more glory. And we want to be counted among the best clubs on the continent.
That's it for now. There is more sports later in the bulletin.
It's a Friday, and you can expect Becky to bring you nothing but the best on a Friday to usher us into the weekend.
I'm so excited because it's Friday.
Yeah.
We get to sleep tomorrow. For those of you who are not sleeping tomorrow,
Bad for them.
Bad for them.
For me, who's working.
So tonight on PM Express, Aisha will speaks to broadcast journalist Kwame Sevakai. And
the Chairman General.
Chairman General. Who doesn't love the Chairman General?
Yeah, I do. I grew up listening to him, yeah.
So he picks Amanzebe's Wogbejeke as one of his favorite songs, and here is why.
This song, as I've always said, is a spirit song.
Is it?
If you listen to the lyrics, I think this is Amanzeba at its extreme best. It's historical, it's rich, it's beautiful, it tells a story. It's part of the slavery story. You should listen to the lyrics. It inspires, it motivates. It just tells you who we are in the 5 minutes of the song or something, you know.
This is a bit I like.
So Ghana Mali, Sumanguru, you know what they show. Manchester Key, no Sumanguru, you know what they show. So this is from the Ghana and the northern part. You go to Ashanti, or send to Yamansan, Yasantua, Kenya Israel, Kenya Ethiopia, Kenya Sudan, what they show. So it tells you the story. They came to wipe our tears, they wiped away our glory. So when you follow it, this is one of the richest Pan-African songs, if not the richest. American Yamaha will never be able to do
it. I tell you, this
great instrumentals,
yeah,
great lyrics.
Yeah.
And I agree with him, it's a spirit song.
Do you think that I should have Kwame Sevakai on E-Vibes sometime?
Of course, why not? Yeah. I'm sure Aisha can link you up.
Okay,
can do
so
that.
you heard that, Aisha. So join Aisha.
Purely entertainment, focus on what he does,
yeah.
with lifestyle and that.
So dancehall artist Shatta Wale has reacted to 3 music CEOs' comments to return all 11 awards he won at the 2019 edition of if he feels that he didn't deserve them. According to Shatta Wale, he would rather flush the awards down the toilet than return them. So he also took a swipe at colleague Samini, saying he has to pay him for a response to his social media run. So basically...
wait, Samini has to pay him Shatta Wale?
So he can respond to whatever it is that... So Samini went on social media after, this whole thing, and he was saying a lot of things about how, let's listen to Shatta Wale.
Okay.
Get more.
Are you returning the 11 awards that Sadiq says, if you think you don't deserve it, bring them back?
Is that what he said?
Yes, he says, if you think you don't deserve them, bring them back.
I'll flush the award in the toilet.
You will do what?
I'll flush the... See, I'll flush the award tomorrow morning.
Do you deserve them? Did you deserve all the 11 awards?
I know I deserve them, but why do he wants to behave like Chattels and, I've fought wars, Sadiq, and I've won my wars. He shouldn't bring this. We've done what we have to do, and he has to apologize to the artists. He has to apologize to the industry. That's the best thing I expect him to do. He shouldn't come about and say, I should return the awards, and if I ask him to pay me, he can't pay me, because that day, I supported him. I even gave him 100,000 Ghana City to do that show as well. So
Samini took swipes at you, and we know you for social media and what has been happening between you and Samini. You haven't responded. It's a surprise to a lot of people.
Well, I want to tell Samini, if he can buy a $55,000 rollie, then I can respond to that. He's been lazy, man. It's about making money. He should stop doing that, man.
He says if you release a hit song, he will release 6 in that day.
He's a dead artist, man.
Really? Samini is dead?
See, I hope this ends.
And this is coming from the guy who says everybody doesn't respect.
Yeah, so really, I hope, I've been in this industry for quite, I just hope that this ends very soon.
Yeah, so because really it's just uninspiring and
But, away from Shatta Wale, let's talk about Dinah Hamilton, the Artist of the Year for VGMAs. She's released a new song, Iradiye. Yes, so that's the new one. Hopefully, on Monday, we'll get to speak to her, hopefully live, or have her tell us all about
the song,
the inspiration,
behind it. Thank you very much, Becky, for the latest
Anytime.
in the world of showbiz. Now, on the international front, the U.S. now admits that a drone strike in Kabul days before its military pullout killed 10 innocent people. A U.S. The Ghana Health Service, as part of efforts to improve safety of patients in our healthcare facilities, has revealed its new guidelines for the implementation of the National Healthcare Quality Strategy. The guideline, according to the service, will establish and strengthen the science-based systems in our health facilities. At the launch of the document, Director General Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaje explained the ministry hopes to improve the quality of healthcare with this initiative.
Patient safety in general and maternal and newborn safety in particular have been a great concern to the Ghana Health Service. To this end, we have in the past made several efforts across all the 12 actions areas of patient safety to develop the first quality assurance strategy in 2002 and subsequently revised several quality assurance and patient safety manuals such as National WASH Technical Guidelines, our customer care guidelines, the Code of Conduct and Disciplinary Guidelines, the Patient Charter of 2002, Community Scorecard, and more recently, the GHS guidelines for implementation of the National Healthcare Quality Strategy. However, Dr. Chair, as the world looks forward to implementing the Decade of Patient Safety Initiative, it has become clearer that much remains to be done in the attainment of quality universal health coverage through SDG 3. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, the need to deepen the implementation of these key policies and guidelines that will create an enabling environment and provide capacity for managers and service providers to improve upon the quality of care they provide has become even more urgent. As a service, we have renewed our efforts in finalizing the draft patient safety policy, which was started in 2015, and hope to, with the support of our partners, complete the process by the end of the first quarter of next year. It is our hope that the finalized policy will address the contemporary quality and safety needs of our patients and the complexities of our operations and our culture.
He further revealed that the service is yet to review its infection prevention and control guidelines, which will link the control of infections to the safety concerns of patients.
Dr. Chair, in addition to finalizing the patient safety policy, plans are underway to review our infection prevention and control guidelines to include new evidence emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic and link infection control to related patient safety concerns such as antimicrobial resistance, hospital-acquired infections. Again, we have also set ourselves to streamline the metrics for the measurement of patient safety. This, we hope, when done, will equip managers and service providers with the appropriate data on the status of patient safety, whilst helping to identify intervention areas for partnership and improvement. Ladies and gentlemen, the vehicle that will drive this agenda hinges more on our new approach to the network practice, where we intend to actually improve the primary health care as a means of attaining our UHC by, as we have all signed up to, by 2030. The network of practice will ensure that access to community is better, our health centers are better equipped to provide the needed support and decongest our hospitals so that we can provide quality care to all our patients.
Government has gifted some confiscated rosewood towards the construction of the National Cathedral. The rosewood, which was being smuggled out of the country, was impounded at the Tema port by authorities while actively looking for those behind it. Friday, the Land and Natural Resources Minister presented the rosewood to the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral project. According to Abu Jinapor, the policy of government going forward will be to ensure strict adherence to the ban on rosewood.
Some of them. We are doing so. We are handing over all the rosewood to them. It is not our wish that we have a situation of rosewood being harvested, let alone for them to be confiscated, and further let alone for us to hand them over to the National Cathedral. Our policy and our effort is to stop the harvesting of rosewood. But as I said the last time I visited the port, is that we have intelligence and we have evidence that there is some transshipment of rosewood from neighboring countries. And therefore, we're putting in place measures to ensure that Ghana does not also become a transit point, a criminal transit point for the transit of illegally harvested wood. And when they are confiscated, they'll be handed over to the National Cathedral until such time that they will not have the need for rosewood, and then we'll dispose of them through other means. But for the time being, all the rosewood which have been confiscated will be handed over to them.
Meanwhile, Deputy Minister of Finance Dr. John Kumah said that rosewood donated towards the construction of the cathedral is an important help towards the project. He also appealed to Ghanaians to donate towards building the cathedral.
Well, it's too early to put specific figures to it. At the right time, I believe the contractors will let us know how much this represents in terms of their quantities and pricing. But I want to take this opportunity to thank the Honourable Minister on behalf of my Minister, the Honourable Ken Ofori-Atta, and to express the gratitude of government to the Minister for Lands and Forestry, the Honourable Abu Jinapo, for such a gracious offer towards the construction of the National Cathedral. Since the trustees are here, I believe they will also do the thanks. But I want to take the opportunity to appeal to every Ghanaian, wherever you are. The code has not changed. It's *979#. And beyond the code, beyond the cash contribution, all kinds of contributions are accepted, including in kind. Apart from the rosewood, if you have cement or any contribution you also want to give towards the construction of the National Cathedral, you are warmly welcome.
Receiving the rosewood, member of the Board of Trustees supervising the project, Reverend Dr. Frimpong Manson, thanked government for the donation. According to him, donating the seized rosewood towards the construction of the National Cathedral is a symbolic gesture.
On behalf of our chairman, Apostle Professor Opoku Nyina, and the rest of the trustees, we want to say thank you to the minister and his team and all those who work within this ministry for showing us such kindness today. You know, the cathedral, which is the vision of His Excellency the President, is not for the President. It is not for the government. It is for Ghanaians. And for such a judicious use of this rosewood, which has become a national asset, is something we should celebrate. But let me say one thing. We have in ethics what we call lesser of two evil. The first place is people should not go and smuggle rosewood. People should not break the law because we need to be law-abiding citizens. And we need to preserve our environment for posterity. But when such things are confiscated, it's better to use it for a wealthy cause than put petrol and fuel on it and burn them. So we are happy that a burden has been taken away, but we are also pleading with Ghanaians to be mindful of the environment. Recently, I think last April or so, we spent a whole day telling people to plant trees. And I think as I'm here, I'll still talk about the tree planting exercise. Let us preserve our environment. I'm here for the National Cathedral, so I will say that we want you to give, we want you to donate, we want you to help us. And like the President has pledged, come 6 March 2024, we will be there dedicating this edifice, which is not only the cathedral, but the Biblical Gardens and the Bible Museum, to the glory of God.
In recent times, Mexico has been influential in the world of entertainment, noted for riveting soap operas. But the Mexican Embassy in Ghana wants you to experience more than just what you see on TV. At the Holiday Inn Hotel last night, the embassy supported a project to showcase Mexican food and music. Judith Awatri-Tando has more in the following report. Si tú tuvieras dicho siempre la verdad, si
It was a lot of fun at the Mexican festival. One of the highlights of the event was karaoke.
I could move a mountain when your hand is in my hand. Oh, words could not express how much you mean to me.
But the host, Kwesi Che Dakwa, would not be left out.
To make you see, if it takes my heart and soul, you know I'll pay the price.
Mexican ambassador to Ghana, Enrique Escoza, who graced the event, explained the Mexican embassy said there was a lot Mexico and Ghana have in common.
Well, basically the idea is to put people closer together. I mean, the whole goal is not only that more Ghanaians know more about Mexico, but also that Mexicans know a little bit more about Ghana. So I think that a mission of any ambassador, in my case is no exception, is to bring people closer. And in the occasion of our independence, we want just to show the Ghanaian people how do we celebrate, how do we have the love for our country, because we see that the Ghanaian people love the country so much in so similar ways like we do. So we like to enjoy and show that part of us to our so amazing friends here in this country.
Many who were at the event commended the embassy for the initiative, saying it was a laudable idea.
Don't forget, we live in a very diversified world. Everywhere we go, we are all mixed. So yes, I encourage it. I think it's really good. It's a good initiative. It would even go far as to when we get to a point in time that we introduce Spanish in all classes in schools, you know, just to incorporate different languages, different cultures. You know, we get to appreciate everybody's diverse cultures, yes.
I believe it is a great initiative from both the embassy and from GAMEXCO, which are our partners in bringing Mexican culture into the Ghanaian society, which I believe it's the bridge that we need between two countries to connect each other. And I believe, and Mexico in general believes, that there are no better bridges than cultural links between two countries. So in that respect, I feel at home. I think this party, it really resembles what a Mexican party is all about. It's about having fun and making friends and just, you know, enjoy the moment, because as we say in Mexico, we only live life once, so let's live it in full.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's something to really learn about Mexicans. You know, we in America know about the Mexicans, but in Ghana, the Mexican initiative, I think it's a good idea to try and just learn about them.
The event was an avenue for socialization between Ghanaians and Mexicans as they sang, ate, and had loads of fun. Judith Awotretando, Joy News.
And fashion mogul and CEO of Jagdi Design Institute, Joyce Abebio, has charged the youth to consider a career in fashion designing. According to her, the Design Institute should no longer be considered as a job for school dropouts. She is confident with adequate investment in the sector, government can provide jobs for the teeming unemployed youth. Joyce Abebio was speaking on the sidelines of the graduation of over 300 students of Jagdi Design Institute.
Fashion industry is always going to be there. As you know, fashion, from where it started from, we are the beginning, we are also the end. None of you pick yourselves out of your house without thinking of, what am I going to wear? So it's always there. This part of it is about students and families and finances and different other things that will dictate how many people are actually coming in the COVID time. Recovery has been not so bad, but it's been a bit slow because, like I said, it's about finances and stuff. But when we talk about the industry, it's not going anywhere, because whether we like it or not, we still step out of our houses in something a fashion designer did. 10 years. I'm looking for us to be the industry we are supposed to be. I'm looking for people to throw away that mindset of fashion being the lowest and for dropouts. We didn't drop out of school to become fashion designers. We did because it's our passion and it's the thing we love to do the most, and we know what it serves. And if you look at it from a business angle, if everybody steps out of their homes in a dress, why would you say this is not a good area to be in business in? Do you understand? Because every day somebody wears something. And we think of all the different occasions and how to dress it. So we are always, and it's the beginning and it's the end. If you die, you still wear something. So it's an industry that needs to pick up. It's an industry that I'm hoping in the next 5 years, they will look at it seriously and help us build it.
Some of the graduating students who received top honors shared their joy with Joy News.
I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity, and then I don't know. I feel very blessed today. I mean, it's been very intense all these years in JSW. I mean, our teachers, our headmistress, I mean, she has been very, very, very positive on our side. And I think she gave us that very good training. And now today, I'm here as a best designer. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
I know I put much effort that I'll win, but I don't know it to come to this point. And I'm so happy, and I thank God for that.
First of all, thank you very much for the award, Willisco. I really appreciate it. What I wanted to do is with the Willisco fabric, I wanted to try some Indian styles because I am from India, and the styles which I did is usually not in the kind of Willisco fabric. It's the bridal wear, and one of them was bridal wear and the other one was very funky wear. So the bridal is not usually in the very cotton and the Willisco kind of fabric, but I wanted to try it. I hope to do a collaboration between, like maybe in Willisco fabric in India also, it might do some great things in different styles. So that's what I wanted to try, and it came out well.
Now, the Catholic Bishops' Conference in the Jansikan Diocese of the Oti region has engaged parents and stakeholders in the fishing and cocoa growing communities in the diocese on ending child labor and abuse. The church has instituted a committee to ensure that children and their rights are protected and incidents of child labor are also reduced in the diocese. According to the church, it is within its responsibility to shepherd the child from exploitation. Peter Senu has more the following report.
The church, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has set up a committee which mandate is to ensure the protection of child rights and eliminate any existing form of child labor and abuse. The church has engaged parents and other stakeholders from fishing and farming communities in the Jansikan Diocese, which covers almost the entire Oti region, on taking steps to reducing incidents of child labor and abuse. Speaking at the ceremony, the Regional Director for Social Welfare, Innocent Agbolusu, explained the position of the law on parental responsibility to children. He also mentioned some circumstances that can put children at risk of labor and abuse, adding all must emulate this act by the church.
Parental duty and responsibility. Some of us just give birth to the children, then we leave them to take care of themselves. It is a common practice to see a man marrying about 4 or 5 wives, and then every woman is left to take care of her child. Worst of all, you see some of these children taking care of themselves. So even during school hours, they are busy. They are weaving baskets, they are doing things that will make them generate money to pay their own school fees. The law is saying that everybody who has a child has the responsibility to take care of him or her. Other churches and religious sects, the Muslim, even the traditionalists, I think that they must emulate this within their fold in order to protect children who are God's gifts to us.
According to the chief fisherman, Daniel Vaje, from Tapabutuasi, which is one of the fishing communities along the Volta Lake, though the number of child labor on the lake is reducing, the punishment regime for those who traffic and abuse children on the lake is not deterrent enough.
This international justice mission, when they are there arresting the people on the lake, they now come down the attention of the child labor on the Volta Lake. Yes, when these people go around arresting the people, they didn't give them any punishment, so they think something they can continue doing. Because when they have been punishing them, it will stop drastically.
He also alleges the absence of any education infrastructure on the islands can be blamed for the abuse of children on the lake.
The overbound communities, you not see the school there, and then you see these politicians who come there. Oh, today we will, next year we will come and do this, next year we will come and do this, next year we will come and do this. Fortunately, you will not see them again until the 4 years. 4 years they will come back.
Cocoa Board in the Jasikan district also admits there are incidents of child labor on the various cocoa farms, but reduced to the barest minimum as they encourage women participation in cocoa farming.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I say in our cocoa farms we have reduced it to about 2. That's even to the west, and we have engaged a lot of cocoa farmers in programs that empower them and to let them know the consequences of child labor.
Reverend Father Pius Biamse speaks for the diocese. According to him, this is just one of the social interventions from the church aimed at raising responsible adults.
It is our own future. So if our children are not doing very well now, then how will our future be? And as we can see, the school dropouts, the number of girls, the number of students in the GHS, the number is dwindling. So this we need to do something.
He added, the church is also concerned about the recent crimes and murders involving children. Hence, the need to guide and secure them for the future.
The recent killing, like what happened in Kasua, adolescents killed their own kind. And we know that our children are also exposed to these things, the mentality of being rich quickly, and social network, and the internet. They are learning a lot, and mostly what they learn is bad. So we are concerned about the behavior of some bad children in the country now.
Peter Sanu for Joy News.
The Ministry of Education is assuring parents there's enough food to take care of students in senior high schools across the country. According to the ministry, they are monitoring of the situation on the ground as far as supply of food items to the school is concerned. There's the suggestion that there are shortages is not true. Now, speaking after a tour of some of the schools in the central region, Deputy Minister of Education John Intim Fojo indicated government was committed to developing the human resource of the country through the free SHS program and had released enough resources to ensure that all uncompleted school building projects will be completed within schedule. Richard Kojinako has more in the following report.
Reverend John Intim Fojo and his team visited the WASSCE candidates and gave them words of assurances. The Deputy Minister then visited the stores of the schools and also to the kitchen where food is prepared for the students. He dismissed rumors that there are food shortages in the senior high schools.
You have seen for yourselves the various kitchens that we visited. And all these are schools that we randomly selected and visited without any prior notice. And you saw for yourselves, they have food. Food has not short. Food is not in crisis. Our students in the various SHS are not starving. So we want parents to be rest assured that we will continue to cater to their wards and that they are in good hands. Any such reports that is speculating going around that our schools are short of food, that there's no food in our schools and our kids are starving, they are all untrue. They are false. As and when some particular food items are going low, the heads of schools place calls to the suppliers and buffer stock, and they receive. If there's any challenge for whatsoever reason that a particular school will be short of food, as soon as it gets our attention, we will take steps and address that. But for now, all the schools we have visited have adequate food.
Reverend John Intim Fojo also assured all uncompleted classroom and other school building projects are being vigorously tackled by government.
A total of 2,007 infrastructure projects were commenced, and out of this, about 58% were completed and handed over. And the rest that are at various stages of completion, we are monitoring. We are investing huge sums of investment into it to ensure that they are timeously completed for us to open access for the new students that we are expecting even to begin their study next year to have adequate spaces to occupy for effective teaching and learning.
He ended up in the classrooms and decided to show how well he could do as a teacher. He started teaching the students arms of government. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejonya, Cape Coast.
2 weeks after the UK donated COVID-19 vaccines arrived in Ghana, the UK Minister for Africa, James Dujeridge, has arrived in Accra for a 2-day visit to the country. Ghana's long-term prosperity is central to the UK-Ghana partnership, and security and stability is essential to the country's growth. Together, the UK and Ghana are partnering to tackle shared threats through a new ministerial security dialogue, law enforcement partnerships, and peer-to-peer training. To strengthen the UK-Ghana security partnership, Mr. Dujeridge will use his visit to announce a further £250,000 to fund 4 vital security and stability projects that will bolster Ghana's capacity to combat threats. This funding is in addition to the existing £1 million of UK funding to support the country's counter-terrorism capability. Kojo Yankson sat down with the minister in the following interview.
So this is from our Conflict Stability and Security Fund. Like the people of Ghana, concerned about the instability to the north of Ghana. Yeah. I've just come from meeting regional leaders from the north who've described the situation on the border, particularly with Burkina Faso and Togo. And very concerned about the instability in the Sahel, something we've been involved in, but it's not about simply waiting for problems to come down. It's about building greater stability for that region to make it more resilient from any problems coming from the further north. So James Heappey, the Minister for Defence, was here a few months ago. Only last week I was discussing the issues with your Minister of Defence. We were both in Lusaka, and it's very much around creating stability, and part of that is restoring a balance in terms of the economy, and I hope to come back and visit the north, not looking at things from a military and pure security viewpoint, but help create some of the underlying factors that will make the region more resilient. So talk about education of children, but also private sector investment, because actually private sector investor in the north creates value in 2 ways, the stability and the financial return and employment and so forth, compared to another investment in Accra.
Now, specifically, this money is to be spent on 4 different projects, and I've been quite curious to understand what the end goal is, what you're hoping to achieve with these 4 projects. So, for example, looking at the northern border, which historically has been very porous, what are you hoping that this project what in particular are you hoping it will fix when it comes to our security arrangements at the northern border?
The border will always be porous. We're not up for building a Mexican-US wall or a Berlin wall. We're not up for militarizing the area. That is not the solution. The solution, the recommended solution from the people in the north, is around creating this stability, making the population more resistant to the possibility of moving to extremism. And that involves getting people jobs and money in their pockets, and looking at the holistic picture. We've seen the effects of climate change particularly strongly in the north of Ghana, with the excessive rainflows which have damaged crops, which have meant people are not going to eat as well in the coming year and will have less to invest. And that causes very, very big problems, but also working with regional neighbours and working with the Sahel G5, looking at the problem holistically. The GDP per capita of Ghana is $2,200. It's nearer 800 or thereabouts in the northern region, and that disparity has to change, particularly as Ghana grows out of poverty, going beyond aid. It's important that the regions, if we're considered a country themselves, would still be left behind. So there will always be regional disparities. There are disparities in the UK, which we try to work on. But all the projects fundamentally are working on the basics rather than just treating the symptoms.
Welcome to Business. I'm Charles Aite. The need to persevere amid career uncertainty is one of the few messages that heralded the maiden edition of the Joy Business Campus Roadshow. The event, which was held at the Oyibi campus of the Valley View University, saw scores of students as well as other participants partake. We have more in this report.
Joy Business put together its first career guidance program for tertiary students themed the Joy Business Campus Roadshow. Participants converged at the Valley View University to listen to successful career persons in education, technology, entrepreneurship, and communication. A student at the Valley View University, Abena, who has a lot of failures, indicated that attending the roadshow has been an opportunity of a lifetime.
For me, I have so much failures in my life. I have so much fears. By coming to this program, I have been able to understand that learning to understand your failures is a way to make you a success. So I'm really happy I came here. So if I was not able to come here, maybe I wouldn't have learned a lot about the program today. So I'm really grateful for it.
Speaking to Joy Business, another student, Nathan Donko, expressed his delight in the program and stated that his expectations were met.
I was expecting for there to be focused sessions that allowed us to speak our minds and be able to have interactions with the various personalities that were told to come to us. And my expectations were met because we were able to have one-on-one sessions and have conversations with them that will benefit us in the future.
Meanwhile, Chief Finance Officer at the Valley View University, Dr. Williams Pepra, indicated that career guidance is gradually shifting from interests to identifying values one represents.
Emphasis for career guidance has been on a student knowing his interest and then the skill set. But currently what is missing in our industry is to have the right value, the Christian or principle that a student should live on. So in my presentation, I focus on value. And that is what we teach at Valley View University. When you come to Valley View University, we train the mind of the student, the heart of the student, and the hand. And we inculcate in them biblical principles, which is very part of our teaching. And Valley View, we adore ourselves by saying that we are the preferred Christian university in the country. So apart from teaching or helping the students to know their career, we tell them that in this modern world that we find ourselves, what is needed is your attitude or your value you hold in life.
Away from that, the Agric Development Bank has moved to ensure profitability of shareholders, including that of government. According to the bank, it has been able to strengthen its operations in the last few years and is hopeful of returning to winning ways. The board chairman of the board, Dasibre Ekumwa Ejapon II, gave the assurance after being sworn in together with other members of the board.
This I see is a call to duty, a call to serve the nation, a call to serve God. And we are grateful for that. We know how big Agric Development Bank is, and that makes the responsibility placed on us even bigger. I would want to assure all our stakeholders that we are going to work together to ensure that we move the bank from where we have met it to greater heights. We are not only going to increase the bottom line, but we are hoping that together and pretty soon we'll be able to pay dividend to shareholders.
Away from that, government has moved to support ride-hailing services, which are gradually catching on in the country. According to the Ministry of Transport, the entry of such services are necessary to rid the country of overage vehicles as well as complement the government's digital transformation agenda. The Deputy Minister of Transport, Frederick Edum, spoke at the launch of Trips Ghana, a ride-hailing service which offers the opportunity for both riders and users in the form of increased choices and lower-cost transport services.
I'm particularly excited about this ceremony because of the opportunity it offers to further boost our commitment to scale up the adoption of technology in the transport sector, to ensure efficiency in service delivery and ultimately achieve government digital transformation agenda. I must emphasize that it takes a lot of planning, commitment, and willpower to start, nurture, grow, and sustain a business of this nature, especially in the era of COVID-19 pandemic and its effect on the transport and logistics value chain. Without doubt, the private sector has continued to play a role in our development process, particularly through job creation for the many young men and women, and thereby guaranteeing them a meaningful life.
Well, Trips gives users the opportunity to book a bus, plan their routes without any hassle. The co-founder and CEO, Onyeka Okuma, said the entry of the service seeks to provide convenience to transport users.
I was making a trip back from Qatar, where I went to speak, and I got into a bus. Now, I didn't plan to get into a bus that day, but my other co-founders wanted me to experience what people go through on a day-to-day basis with buses. I had a panic attack. This was in Lagos. In Lagos, there are buses we call Danfo. They are the yellow buses. Why did I go into a panic attack? I found myself holding the door of the bus from falling off. I'm the passenger. The driver was moving. He had a towel around his neck. And for that driver, all he wanted to do was move this machine from one bus stop to the other. I was looking at all the metal sticking out from the chairs. And I asked myself, many of us have our white shirts and red ties in the hall. And there are people that may not be able to afford an Uber ride on a day-to-day basis or get on a bike. And they have to get into this bus. Is this the experience they have to go through on a day-to-day basis? And I called my friend Johnny, who is now a co-founder of me and also the president. And I asked him this question. I said, yeah, over 9 million people in that country use a bus every day. In Accra, the numbers are also staggering. And they have to go through this on a day-to-day basis with no predictability about the availability of the buses, with no assurance that when you get to the bus stop, even if rain is falling, that you get the bus. And most of all, there's no guarantee that there's safety.
And that'll be it for business. We leave you with a summary of international business news, after which sports comes up to stay.
Many thanks for staying with us. Time to bring you sports. And Ashanti Gold SC and Inter Allies Football Club have both been charged by the Ghana Football Association prosecutor on count of misconduct for match manipulation in their 2020-2021 Ghana Premier League Week 34 game played at the Obuasi Linkley Stadium on July 17, 2021. After investigations into the act of misconduct, the GFA prosecutor charged Ashanti Gold SC on 3 counts of misconduct for breaching Article 34.5 subsection A, Article 34.6 subsection D of the GFA Premier League Regulations 2019, Article 18.1 of the GFA Disciplinary Code 2019, and the Inter Allies have also been charged on 2 counts of misconduct for breaching Article 34.5 subsection A and Article 34.6 D of the GFA Premier League Regulations 2019. Both clubs are expected to submit their statements of defense to the charges on or before Wednesday, September 22, after which the GFA Disciplinary Committee will adjudicate their cases respectively. Some players and officials of both clubs have also been charged. And in boxing, Ghana's Emmanuel Quay continues his journey to a world title shot as he comes up against Boatin Ajiman for the coveted national middleweight title on October 9. My colleague Asari Bediako has the rest of the story.
All roads lead to the Hydroweight Event Center on October 9 as Emmanuel Quay clashes with Boatin Ajiman for the coveted national middleweight title. The 8-round bout is expected to produce fireworks. The bout is being put together by Kabik Promotions. Their CEO, Ivan Bruscujo, expects nothing but high-quality display come October 9.
Something spectacular. We are noted for doing the best among the lot. So therefore, it wouldn't be anything different but the best. So expect the best from us. From next year, there will be a continuous fight every quarter. And that thing will be rolled out next year or early before the end of this year.
So any message to corporate Ghana in terms of?
Corporate Ghana, we have said time and time and again, whenever we launch a fight, we ask corporate Ghana to come in. However, nobody seems to. But we're praying again that this time we have come again. We want to do the best that we can to, groom more talents. We have talents. So therefore, corporate Ghana could come in, help to more or less motivate promoters so that this kind of boxing that we come into will grow.
President of the Ghana Boxing Authority, Abraham Kote Nikwe, has praised Kabik Promotions for organizing the Hydroweight Big Fight Night.
Kabik Promotion now, they have been one of the biggest promoters, and now they are going up because now they themselves have their own arena. They have their gym that they are going to keep their boxers there. So you realize that they move ahead. And this is something that I pray for, that all the promoters in Ghana will reach this level. If they are there, I am happy that in my time they have put up all these things. So I am happy. And this level, I need to say they have done well, and the GBA will support them.
Emmanuel Quay, a potential world boxing champion, is leaving no stone unturned in his bid to write his name in the history books of Ghana boxing.
Now, Kenya's former sports minister Hassan Wario has paid a fine of just over $32,000 to avoid a 6-year jail sentence after being convicted of corruption and abuse of office for misappropriating money set aside for the country's 2016 Olympic team. There is more in this report.
Former Kenyan Sports Minister Hassan Wario has been sentenced today for his role in the misuse of public funds meant for his nation's 2016 Olympic Games campaign. He was given the option of 6 years in prison for paying a fine of $33,000. Wario was found guilty on Wednesday by the Kenyan Anti-Corruption Magistrate Court for misusing public funds allocated to the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. Stephen Soy, who was Kenya's chef de mission at the Games, was convicted on 5 charges of corruption after diverting money meant for athletes' travel and accommodation, as well as Kate from sportswear giant.
Let's check out the fixtures for the major European leagues for games coming up this weekend, and Wolves will play Brentford, Burnley will play Arsenal, Liverpool up against Crystal Palace, is the champions Manchester City up against Southampton, Norwich versus Watford, Aston Villa take on Everton. And on Sunday, we have Brighton playing Leicester. West Ham United take on Manchester United. The top lineup for the weekend, Tottenham up against Chelsea at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The La Liga, Rayo Vallecano will take on Getafe, Atletico Madrid take on Athletic Bilbao, Elche play Levante, Alaves will take on Osasuna. There's also Mallorca versus Villarreal on Sunday, September 19, and also Real Sociedad will take on Sevilla. Betis will take on Espanyol Valencia up against Real Madrid. On Monday, the 10th of Barcelona who take on Granada. The French Liga has Lens taking on Lille. Saint-Etienne will take on Bordeaux. All of those games tomorrow, September 18. And then on Sunday, the bulk of the action, Nice will take on Monaco. Angers will take on Nantes. Clermont versus Brest. And there is Reims up against Lorient. Troyes will take on Montpellier. Marseille versus Rennes. PSG versus Lyon is a big one in France this weekend. The Italian Serie A has Genoa up against Fiorentina. Inter Milan take on Bologna. And Salernitana also taking on Atalanta. Those games on Saturday. On Sunday, we've got Empoli versus Sampdoria. Venezia take on Spezia. Lazio versus Cagliari. Juventus versus AC Milan. A big one in the Italian Serie A. On Monday, Udinese will take on Napoli. And in the German Bundesliga, Bayern Munich versus Bochum. Mainz up against Freiburg. Augsburg will take on Borussia Mönchengladbach. Arminia Bielefeld up against Hoffenheim. Cologne versus Leipzig. Those games on Saturday. On Sunday, we've got Stuttgart taking on Bayer Leverkusen. Dortmund versus Union Berlin. Wolfsburg will take on Frankfurt. And that does it for sports here on Joy News Prime. In the meantime, you can read the latest in the world of sports at myjoyonline.com/sports. My name is Hans Mensando. Enjoy your weekend.
That's our show for today. Many thanks for your company throughout this week. My name is Ernest Minu. From me and the rest of the team, we say have a lovely weekend. Up next is PM Express, and Kwame Sefakane is on PM Express today with Aisha Ibrahim. Please stay.